live free stamping class with Barb Mulliken of barbstamps.com. I am live on YouTube every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. So that means it's 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Mountain, where I live, and 6 p.m. Central. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I have this new little tripod thingy that my camera is sitting on for the face view so that I can chat with you guys and you can see me, and I can't really see you, but let's pretend I can. You all look fabulous, by the way. And then I still have my other little goodie here that's for the table view, but I'm really happy with this thing. And maybe after I switch things, I'll slide it in and kind of show you what it is. And it was super cheap, and I'm really excited about it because I love cheap stuff that works really good. So okay, I've got my iPad here. It seems to be working. It's showing me your comments. So hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate that. If you guys wouldn't mind liking and sharing the video, and of course, subscribing to my channel, which I think is this corner. I'm going to look at myself and make sure I'm pointing to the right corner, because if I'm not, then I did. It's in this corner. There should be, I think, a little subscribe button. Actually, I don't even see it here, but it should be there when I'm not live. So why isn't it there now? What the heck? Or maybe it's just because I'm already subscribed to my channel, or I'm me, so I can't see it. Normally, there's a little subscribe button right down there in the corner, and you can click on that and subscribe to my channel. That way you'd be notified when I go live, which is great. Sometimes, we can't remember everything, so it's nice to be reminded. And also, if you click that little bell icon also, that will really supposedly notify you. Now, I don't know. I know the YouTube algorithm can be a little bit screwed up at times, and a lot of really famous YouTubers that have millions and millions of subscribers complain about it. But I'm not really sure. I have a few channels that I follow, and I seem to get notifications from them. So I'm hoping that it actually works. So who's joining us tonight? We have Dolly and Lisa and Jean and Trish and Bev and Sandra. And oh my gosh, so many of you guys. And Terry and Connie and Jean and Mert. That is a great name, Mert. And what is that short for? I must know this. I know it's probably a personal question, but I just saw the name and it was very interesting to me. And I just kind of want to know what it's short for. Or maybe it's not short for anything. Maybe your name is Mert. It's a very interesting name. Okay, and Debbie and Pam. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Like I've said 100 times, you just don't know how much I appreciate it. And thank you for following me over here onto YouTube from Facebook. That I really, really appreciate. I wasn't really sure how it was going to go down. I was a little nervous to transition over to YouTube, but it's been wonderful. You guys have been great. And just thank you. I can't thank you guys enough. Everybody who watches these videos, every one of you who gives it a thumbs up, everybody who shares it, that just really helps me. I'm a small business owner. I work, from sun up till sundown, I swear, every day. Not that I don't enjoy it, because I absolutely do. Well, I guess there's a few things about it I don't enjoy. Taxes would be one thing that I really don't enjoy. But anyway, and it really helps me out when you guys do that. As you probably know, I make a teeny tiny little bit of income from YouTube. It's, again, a teeny tiny little bit. I would love to make more. I know a lot of those big YouTube people make, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month from YouTube. I don't make nearly that much. Maybe I could buy some, I could buy myself lunch or something. But, the more people that look, that view, that subscribe, that like, it all helps me out a lot. So I appreciate you guys very much. All right. I think we had Mert comment, did we? Is my husband's nickname for me. Marcy is my name. That's so cute. Huh. Oh, you gotta love it when men give you those cute little nicknames. So I like that a lot. So welcome, Mert, Marcy. So yay. Okay, I honestly don't really have any funny stories about my son. Last week, it wasn't a funny story, but we finally got the go-ahead to get the surgery done. And I showed you guys the x-ray and how the surgeon's going to go about, fixing his thumb and cutting through here and cutting into this bone here and connecting it with a little thread that doesn't stretch. Anyway, and so that's still a go, thank goodness. He just have to have a COVID test the day before he goes in. And I'm a little worried. My husband and I, as you guys know, had COVID in August. We both did. And I don't think he got it. We kicked him out of our house into our camper outside, and he lived out there for 2 weeks. But then he did get sick. he was sick with what I thought was a cold last month, but I mean, maybe it wasn't a cold. Maybe it was COVID. I don't know. I didn't send him to get tested because I thought, what's it going to matter? You know, he's sick. He's already staying home. What does it matter? So anyways, I'm a little concerned that if it was, that he would now test positive because he still has whatever it is in his system. So I'm a little concerned about that if he tests positive, then they won't do the surgery. So I've got to figure out what I'm going to do about that, but that's not your problem and nobody cares. So anywho, I guess it's time for me just to maybe flip the camera over because I don't have any story that I can think of. I mean, something will probably come to mind because he does do silly little things, you know, constantly. Yeah, so maybe something will come to mind. Who knows? So I'm going to flip the camera and then I'll maybe show you my new little kind of tripod thing. So what I have to do is I have to take it out of this holder. Hopefully it won't be too annoying. Okay, so I've got it out of the holder. I'm going to flip it down. I'm going to flip the screen. Oh, nope, you're still seeing my ceiling. My ceiling is not that exciting. But thankfully, if you guys watched me last week, there's no bees coming out of the ceiling anymore. So yay me. Okay, so I'm going to now just adjust this view, this lens, just a tiny bit, because I like it to be nice and straight, because otherwise I don't know, I'm kind of anal. Some of you guys that know me probably know that. Okay, so here's my new little tripod. So it's got this telescoping thing, and it can telescope. It's also like a selfie stick. So it can telescope out to, I don't even know, 3 feet, maybe. And then these little legs, oh, I'm bumping something now. And these little legs, they close up. Okay, so you can hold it. It's got this little removable remote control so that you can, you know, stop and start videos or take selfies, whatever. And then you can totally push it all the way down. And this little guy screws off. This is what I had my phone in. And it's just so compact and amazing. And if you are a demonstrator or anybody who does videos, it's a great thing. And it was only like $12 on Amazon. So anyway, I was pretty excited about that. Okay. So, as you guys know, I do online classes and classes to go every month. And if you're a Stamp Happy Academy member, you get the PDF files to all of those classes every month. And so this is going to be the class for November that we're going to do. Dina Kelly and I do it together. And let me just look, is there any questions? I always forget because my iPad's not like right in my view. I wonder if I could somehow stick it up here without it falling down. Ooh, I think I just did. Yay. Okay. So I can easily look at the comments now better. So this is our class for the month of November. As you guys may or may not know, Stampin' Up! Is releasing a stamp set, dies, paper, gems, and cotton paper, 2 different kinds of paper, on November, I think it's the 2nd. It's next Tuesday, which I think is November 2nd. And so we're going to be offering our online class for the month of November is going to be this suite of stuff. And I should grab it so I could show you. Hold on. Okay, well, here is the paper. And I haven't had a chance to make a paper chart yet. So I will just quickly show you the different designs. It's a pack of 12 as usual. They are specialty papers, so there's obviously gold accents, as you can totally see here by me wiggling it around, and it's really pretty. We've got a splatter background on that one. This one is just some vines with some little tiny gold dots. You can just barely see those as I'm moving that around. And then we have an ombre sheet on the back of that, and then we have this gorgeous one right here, and the back of that is just a nice foliage pattern. This is obviously my favorite. I love the 2 different colors. The soft succulent and the evening evergreen along with the gold is just beautiful. The back of that is kind of a crosshatch-ish sort of pattern. This one is the soft succulent kind of white and the gold. And then the back of that is just, I don't even know what you'd call that. Just some, it almost looks like some kind of old style computer code or something like that. Do you guys remember that old style code? When I was a sophomore in high school, we had to like write a program, and then we had to like take these cards and we had to poke out. I don't even remember because of course I failed out of that class. So a little bit of information about me you probably didn't know. I flunked out of computer class as a sophomore in high school. But it was confusing to me, and I can't even remember what that type of stuff was called. It was some kind of code, It's code that, you know, we don't use anymore, but we had to write a program, and then we had to poke holes out of these little cards that you would stick into the machine, and that would be how the computer would read your program. I don't even really know, because obviously I got an F, so there you go. Anyway, that's what that just reminded me of. Then we have this gorgeous pattern here, and then we have the back of it that way. So the paper is beautiful. We also have something called cotton paper, which honestly, to me, it feels kind of like a little bit thicker tissue paper. And it also comes in the 2 colors. So we have, I've already used some of this. So we've got the binary code. Was that what it was? That might be what it was, Susan. I couldn't even tell you. That doesn't seem like the right term. That's not triggering me to remember, but it definitely could be. And anyways, I didn't do well. So it's got 2 different colors. It's kind of like a little bit thicker tissue paper, I guess, but I think it's going to be kind of cool to like make pop-up flowers. So here I've kind of taken one of our flower punches and kind of, you know, scooped them together, layered them together. And then I think if we scrunch them and scoop them, it might be kind of cool. This one is flat because it had something, I dropped something on it. So there you go. Okay. Looks like we all, not all of us, but a lot of us had that kind of computer class with whatever that code was. Okay, and then here are the gorgeous gems. They are supposed to be, these are kind of weird because if you hold them one way, they're kind of like a cherry cobbler-ish. But if you look at them the different way, then to me, they're like evening evergreen. So I don't know what this is. Katie says, I can't believe you had that in high school. Fortran using, is that what it was? Well, Katie, I'm an old person, so there you go. DOS! Yes, I think that's exactly what it was. It was DOS. Thank you, Sherry. Yeah, and I just remember struggling, and finally I had to drop out because I was going to flunk anyway, so there you go. Okay, so those are, and then of course my brother is a computer genius, and he is an electrical engineer with a master's degree, and he works for Raytheon, and he writes code for the military for their weapons, and that's probably all I can say, or they'll probably come and kill me. So there you go. Okay. Yeah, isn't that kind of crazy how you have 2 kids in the same family raised the same, and you have one that's, you know, the brainiac beyond all brainiacs, and then there's me. So there you go. DOS, Nadia's just in here. Yeah. Okay. So this is the class for the month. We haven't exactly decided on all the projects yet, which we will get that done. But right now we are just taking sign up. So of course you can do that in the link in the description of this video. And it's we're going to have 9 cards. And of course, you know, with this, oh, I didn't show you the stamp set. Well, I'll show you the stamp set and the dies because I'm going to make a card with it later. So you'll get to see them then. So you can get the whole shebang, which for us is that whole collection, the dies, the stamps, the 2 packs of paper, and the gems. We're also going to add in gold foil paper because hello, and gold shimmer ribbon, and that's going to be $116. We're also going to be using the flower builder punch, and you can add that on for $25 if you want that also. And then the cardstock supply kit, as always, is $45. The online only version is $20. So there you go. All right. And then our October class last month was the Artistically Inked, and I have to tell you, this was a gorgeous class. I had not really used this bundle very much. I actually, you know, I bought it for this class, so I didn't even have it. So, you know, it came out in June, and it was extremely popular, and then it kind of went on back order for a while, and then it was also, I think, unorderable, and I never bought it. And so we decided to do this class, so I finally bought it, and you know, I can't stop using it. And actually I'm making another card with it today because it's just so beautiful. I just can't stop using it. So anyway, I still have a few kits left for this. I think I have like 5 kits left for this, or you can get the whole shebang, which is of course the bundle and some other things. So my Little Delights class, I'm actually going to be using this stamp set again today, and I have a little extra bonus for you guys. If you order this class from me by November 6th, or if you've already ordered it and you email me, I will include you. I'm going to send you the pieces and parts to make the card that I'm going to make with it today. It's not like a ton of pieces and parts, but it's a cute card and you're going to want to have them. So if you order the class between now and November 6th, I will give you the extra pieces in your kit. If you've already ordered it from me, send me an email, say I ordered it from you, I want the card, and I will send you with the pieces to make this other card. So there you go. I still have some of those. I still have a few Christmas. We have 3 Christmas classes available right now. I have the Christmas season that I still have kits for. I have the Peaceful Deer, And then I have the sweet little stockings. And this one isn't all Christmas. I think there's 2 Christmas cards, and then there's a baby card, and then there is another card, if I remember right, in there. So it can be Christmas. It doesn't have to be. So I've got 3 Christmas classes. If you guys are looking to make some Christmas cards really easily, these classes are the way to go. I still have adhesive kits. Here are my adhesive kits. They come in these cute little pouches. And you get a seal, glue dots, liquid glue, tear and tape, dimensionals, a ruler, an adhesive eraser, and a little sand eraser to kind of, get your mistakes if you make any, which of course none of us do. So there you go. Okay. Any other comments? DOS makes more sense. Yeah, DOS was, it was awful. Okay. And then of course, Stamp Happy Academy. Always have to plug Stamp Happy Academy because it's absolutely amazing. We have so much fun. We have 3 live classes a month if you're in a premium or live only membership, and I am scheduling myself for next Friday. So if you're in Stamp Happy Academy as a premium or live member, I will be live next Friday. I think it's the 5th of November for the 1st November live class. So yay, super exciting. And if you have the basic membership, you get all of our online class files for free. And then you can buy the kits if you want to, but you can certainly see all the cards and everything that are in the classes before you actually purchase a kit. So it's a little bonus for that. So then here are the cards I made last week for you on my live. One of them using the artistically inked, because I'm telling you, I can't stop using that now. I need to move some stuff out of the way. And then this with the Blackberry Beauty paper. So pretty. So much fun. And then this is just the paper in that kit, in that bunch of paper, and I just took the paper, and that's pretty much all I did. Stamped on it, wrapped ribbon. I mean, this card was like the easiest card ever. And then this fun card here that was a card that I cased from one of my team members, because we do a team swap every month. So if you're a person looking to join the demonstrator team, I would love to have you join mine. We have a lot of fun, and we have a monthly meeting, and we're going to have our Christmas party in December, which is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do bingo. We're going to have ugly sweater contest. Dollar store hacks, just all kinds of super fun. Ruth, I think if it's blurry, you're going to need to change your settings, because it's not blurry for me and nobody else has said that. So check your settings on YouTube and change your, what do you guys call it? I can't think of it, but you're going to have to change your settings, Ruth. Ooh. Here's something I wanted to share with you guys. I found this. I was kind of doing some rearranging of my stuff here earlier this morning, actually, and I ran across this. Back in the day when I used to do home workshops, this was my calculator that I would take to total all the party things, and it's actually a logo item that we could purchase from Stampin' Up! When I was very first a demonstrator, and it still works. So we could do 65. Well, maybe we can't. Let's see, clear. Memory clear, and we could do 65 plus 35 equals 100. Oh my gosh, it still works. So this was, and I just loved it. I thought it was the coolest thing because it had this clear back, so you can like see the inner workings of the calculator. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. Kind of like, what do you call it? It's an antique, I guess. Okay, so now onto the card. So here are the papers that we're going to use. And then I have a few other little gems that I'm going to show you in a second. Of course, we're using the artistically inked stamp set. And the dies, artistic dies. And in our class, we're including the Plenty of Patterns masks, but I'm going to use the basic pattern mask. So we have 3 sets of masks right now, I think, in our catalogs. We have 2 in the annual catalog and 1 in the holiday catalog. So I'm going to use the polka dots, because I actually almost forgot that we even had this set of masks, and I found it today too. I found a lot of things today. So we're going to use that. We're going to use, of course, a blending brush. And then I don't know what else for sure that we're going to use, but we've got some ink and stuff. So the first thing I'm going to do is add some mask or some ink to this. Okay, so I'm just going to put a tiny bit of adhesive on here, and then I'm going to use one of these little, these are for the Stamparatus. Well, they were made for the Stamparatus. You don't have to. And let's see here. And Sarah is asking what my email is. It's barb@barbstamps.com, Sarah. Okay, so I am going to tape this down so that as I'm using my blending brush, it will stay in place. Okay, so I also like to use a clear block when I'm doing this type of thing. So I'm going to rub my brush on my ink pad, and then I'm going to kind of smash it onto this clear block. Now you might not really be able to see that, but some of the ink has gone onto that block so that I don't end up what I call kind of wasting it, because sometimes you don't want it to be super dark. So you tend to like wipe it off on the paper. But I'm just like, why wipe it off on the paper when I can just wipe it off on this block and keep using it? Okay. And I'm going to add a little bit more. Oh, Sarah, I'm doing bingo for my team as our Christmas party. I don't do bingo per se for customers. I haven't actually ventured into that yet. So if that's what you were looking for my email, I don't do that yet. I might. I haven't decided yet. Tammy Melzer wants to know what color this is. This, Tammy, is pale papaya. So I was like, what color is it? Wow. Okay. So I'm not going to go all the way to the bottom because I'm going to cover up the bottom of this piece with a strip of the Designer Series paper. Okay. So now let's kind of check here. So I'm going to release the tape on the two sides. And then we'll see. Ooh, I think that looks pretty good. I think we're going to call that done. I'm going to get rid of that tape, and I'm going to just kind of wiggle this back and forth to get it off of my grid sheet here. And she switched to her TV much better. Oh, perfect. Good deal. Okay. So now I've got that, so I don't need this anymore. And I have a piece of the Designer Series paper that, of course, is with the artistically inked kit. And so I'm just going to add this to the bottom of my layer here. Whoops, I got to get that started. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to cut this off because I think I had cut it for a 5.5 inch layer, but I decided to cut my layer to 5.25. So, whoops. Okay. Here we go. And we're going to, of course, snip off the end because it's always better, or it's always okay if your paper is too long. It's not always okay if it's too short. Because if it's too long, we can easily fix it. Too short? Yeah, we might not. Okay. I need some ribbon. And I think that I'm going to use this, but I don't know. Maybe that one actually matches better. That one actually kind of does match better. Okay, so we are going to wrap ribbon around this and tie it in a knot. Where is my Stampin' Mist? Oh my gosh, I think it's in the bathroom. What else do I have out here that I could wrap this around that would be fat enough? Certainly I've got something. Oh, I've got a refill. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm going to tie a knot around this bottle because I am not the kind of person that can tie ribbon around cardstock and have it be nice and taut and nice. Because I like to concentrate on making a nice knot, and I can't always do that if I'm worried about trying to make it tight around this. So I tie it around a bottle, I slide it off, and then I'm going to stick it on here eventually, not right this second, because I need to do some stamping and some die cutting. So I need some white. Here's a white. And I need to get the adhesive off that. I keep sticking it on my desk here. Okay, so I've got my Pale Papaya ink again, and I've got the large image here. And now if you want, this is kind of a fun little trick to do with these large bold stamps. If you take a little bit of a darker color, like this pumpkin pie, and you just kind of add it kind of randomly around, and then you stamp it. It just looks kind of cool. So that you can kind of see right here on the edges and in the center, it's a little bit different color. It's a little bit, I'm not even sure what you call it. It's some kind of arty thing, I'm sure, but I'm not an artist by any means. So, and then this one, we can do it also. We can ink up and add some, and then we can stamp that one also. So you can see we've got some right there and some on the edges. It just kind of makes them look kind of cool, I think. Okay, so then I would take those over to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and die cut them. And here they are. So I have both of those. We can get rid of that. And then I also took like some gold foil and I cut an entire leaf thing. And I think, can't remember how it even goes, but I was just kind of messing around because you guys know how I do this. I kind of design my card a little bit, but I don't actually finish it until I'm live with you guys. So sometimes I don't exactly know exactly what I'm going to do. So anyways, I cut that. So I'm going to use some of the gold leaves and I'm going to use these. And then for the center of this flower, I'm going to use some kind of gems. I don't know what. I've got these little gold gems. I've got the champagne rhinestones, and I've got the gilded gems. So I don't know what I'm going to want to use. We'll see. We got to get this thing put together first. So, okay. So I need to kind of figure out where I want to put these flowers on this, but I knew that I wanted to stack them. So I'm absolutely going to do that. So I'm going to put this one kind of in the middle. There we go. And then it's going to go somewhere around here. So then I decide, okay, well, if I'm going to put my flower there, then my knot from my bow is going to go about right here. So then what I do is I kind of hold my knot in place where I want it. I pull my loop over to the side, and then I'm going to cut it so that I have enough to wrap around the back, and then I have enough to wrap around the back on the other side too. Because like I said, I just am not good at tying ribbon around paper. I can't do it. It's never tight enough, and it stresses me out. So I never have like a one layer card with a piece of ribbon wrapped around it because I can't do it. Okay, so then we can snip these off. These are a new pair of snips, so they are cutting pretty darn good. All right, so then I can actually add this to my card base, which is also pale papaya. So we'll flip that over. There we go. Oh, and I should also mention, if you guys see any trollish like comments, please start spamming the chat with letting me know that somebody, we got a troll on here, and then I will absolutely get rid of them. Oh, Kathleen Hastings says that her sister-in-law works for Raytheon in Virginia. Yeah, my brother works in Arizona, in Tucson. Actually, it's Vail where he lives, but I think it's just outside of Tucson. Okay, there. All right, so then we're going to add our flower. And before we do that, I kind of wanted to see how I wanted these leaves to go. I wasn't sure how many I wanted. I wasn't sure where I wanted them. Maybe this guy. I don't know. Sometimes, well, I could scoot them in so they're not hanging off the bottom of the card because we don't really want that, I don't think. I don't hate that, so I think we're going to go with it. So to make this really easy, I'm just going to tape these to the back. Kind of figure out where I want them. I think right here is good. And then I'm just going to tape them to the back. Got to get that there. Okay. So we have those, and then these two guys, I think we'll just do the same thing. And you could use glue if you want, but I just feel like it's going to be faster and whatever if we just tape them back there. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking that's going to look all right. Now we'll put it on with dimensionals. I kind of have to laugh at myself because earlier today, let me pull it out. In if I can find it. I used the other masks and I did this kind of whatever this pattern is. I don't even know what it is. And honestly, I kind of feel like I like it better than the polka dots. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I like this pattern better than those polka dots. So do I take it off? Do I leave it? Do I try to work this under so that it will stay there? Let me see here if I can. I like the polka dots. I hadn't actually done them for this particular whole layout and everything. And I'm kind of feeling like I don't like it. What do you guys think? Whatever this is called, mermaid, sure, we'll go mermaid or polka dots. What do you guys like better? Polka dots? Mermaid? Interesting. I think I kind of like the mermaid better. So this one actually came out of the Plenty of Patterns package. Okay, so if I was going to cut this, what would it need to be? 2 3/4. Okay, so we are looking at the chats here. We've got one of each so far. Oh, I see a lot of mermaids. Yes, a lot of you guys are thinking mermaid. I'm kind of thinking that too. I just, all of a sudden, when I was looking at those polka dots with these stripes and everything, I was just like, I'm not feeling it. Okay, we're gonna go mermaid. And I'm gonna cut this down just a little bit. And you guys are gonna laugh because I am not taking my card apart. I am just going to figure out how to tuck this under and glue it down. So we're gonna use liquid glue. Sherry says just make 2 cards. I probably should. I could keep that. I don't know if I can get that off or not. I can just make another one. Okay, so I'm going to use liquid glue. Okay, so we're going to kind of lift up the knot. And we're kind of sliding the old mermaid pattern in. I think it should work. What do you know about that? That's pretty dang good. Okay. Party can begin because Heather has arrived. Yay, Heather. Okay. So now we're going to add our flower. Yeah, I think I'm liking that a little bit better, honestly. Okay, now I got to decide. I kind of feel like these are going to work because they're big. And I kind of feel like I need something big in the middle, so let's just try this. So these are the medium gilded gems. And let's just see if we can get 3 of them. There we can. Yay. All right, so then of course we have a piece for the inside, which we'll just throw in right now. And I could put DSP on it, but I didn't cut one. Ooh, and I also have a little tip to share with you guys about this artistically inked bundle. Well, actually, it could be any bundle of stamps and dies that you guys have. Because as you probably do the same thing that I do. So as I'm making cards, you know, I'm cutting this, I'm cutting that, and then I don't end up using everything that I cut. And so what I do is I take one of our clear envelopes and I will add this little bit to this. And I just throw everything in here. So I have all these die cut flowers, leaves out of different colors, stamped images that I could cut easily, mask that I could use, more leaves. So I just keep all these little things and I just keep them in this envelope. Because I never know, you know, when I decide if I want to make another card, I could probably make a few cards, honestly, with what I have here, just already cut. But I'm not quite done with this card yet, so hold on. I just wanted to share that with you guys. And I also keep a little tray full of that same kind of stuff. So, like right now, it's Christmas, and I have, you know, stamped and die cut or just die cut, you know, stamped and colored, whatever, all kinds of things. Here's a bunch from that gingerbread stuff. Here are some little tiny baubles from the whimsical trees, and then the little dots from the Christmas season. I've got reindeer in here. I've got all kinds of things. I've got those time of forgiving. And so I just keep all these things in this tray because it sometimes kind of helps me out if I need to make a quick card. I can just come to this tray and go, oh, look, this is just about done. All I got to do is finish coloring that in and it's a go. So I don't know if that's a helpful tip for you guys or not, but that's what I do. And I just keep it all in there. Okay, so back to the card that we're making. I need a sentiment. So I need the hello and a block. Where is a block? Here's one. Let me get this hello on here. Try to get it on there so it's kind of centered. And then I should have a strip of paper around here somewhere. I do. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment here. Well, I'm going to do it on this end because I'm going to cut the rest off. Hopefully that's pretty straight. Yep, that's pretty straight. Okay. So then I also have this tiny little scrap of gold paper somewhere in here. This is just a tiny little scrap that I was going to throw out, but then I thought, oh, you know what? I could use this little scrap and I could extend this and just make a cute little end here. So I'm going to put a tiny bit of glue on there. And then I'm going to stick it on this gold so that at the end of the sentiment there, I have, I don't know, what is that, about a 1/16 of an inch, maybe a little more. So I'm going to let that dry just quickly here. Whoops, I think I moved it. I knew that was going to happen. I should have used a different adhesive. Okay. We're going to let that dry. Maybe I can sort of put some of this stuff away really quick while it's drying. All my gems. Put some of this stuff out of the way here. And you know what? I feel like I'm having a hot flash, so I'm going to have to take my jacket off. Whew. Boy, I tell you, even down here in this basement, sometimes the hot flash, you just never know when it's going to come. Okay, let's hope that this is dry. And then all I'm going to do is do a little snipping here. There we go, and a tiny bit there. And then I'm going to flag this end. And then we're going to stick it on the card, kind of on the edge. Whoops, that I did not quite get cut all the way. There we go. And let's add, well, I'm going to use liquid glue because I'm afraid if I try to push the seal on there, I'm going to pull the little end off. So, okay. Now we can stick this on the edge, and now it's done. So there it is. And then the inside, we have a little place we can write, and yay, so exciting. Okay, so that's card number 1. So I'm going to set that aside right here and get all these things out of the way over there. Get that block, move all that. Okay, and then we're going to bring in box number 2. And so box number 2 is going to use the Eden's Garden stuff. And so here now I can show you the dies and the stamps. And I don't know if I showed you the gems earlier or not. I meant to. I might not have. Oh, yeah, I did, because we talked about how they were kind of cherry cobbler in some light. And I feel like they're evening evergreen in other lights. And then these are just all like kind of bluey green. Okay. So here are the set of dies. There are 5 dies in the set. And then I have die cut each piece, so that we can sort of see what it is. So we've got this really cool edge die here. We used to call them edgelets. I don't know what they call them now, since we're not using Sizzix products. Maybe a border die. I'm not even sure. But we have this cool border die. So actually, I should bring in a different color so you can actually see there. Now you can really see that edge die. And then it has this fun little stitching along it also, and then all this fun detail. We also have this large frame. Is one of the dies, and the detail is great. And what I think is really fun with this particular die is you can cut this up. So you could die cut this, and then you could cut this up and use little sections of it. Like if you wanted to tuck some foliage behind a sentiment layer or something like that, this is perfect for that. We also have this little tiny foliage type die, and I think I cut the edge off there. My piece of paper must have shifted, but that's also kind of fun. We have this little goodie here, which I find myself actually using quite a bit. I think this little piece here is just super cute, and it works for different things. I actually had it upside down. There, that's what it's supposed to look like. And then the last thing is this kind of sentiment piece. And what's kind of cool about this is you can stack it together. So you could cut two of them. You could have one of them this way. And then if you flip it upside down and kind of layer them together, they're kind of opposite. So you can get like two different colors. I don't really know what I'm trying to say, but it looks really cool. And I don't have a sample. I should have cut another piece so that you guys could see that, but I didn't. But just take my word for it. It's pretty cool. Okay, so let me put that stuff back in there and my dies back in. So this is the Eden's Garden. I guess this would be the bundle, and then everything, the paper with the gems, that's the collection. So there you go. Okay, so we are using this today, and we're also going to use the Evening Evergreen and the Soft Succulent. And here are my papers. Okay, so you'll notice that I have two triangles here. I actually saw a card online the other day and it used two triangles. They were like stamped and everything. And I thought, oh my gosh, how cool would that look if I used this paper? So we're going to see. So anyway, I used our Stitched Triangles dies, which I don't use very often, but in this case, this is going to be pretty cool, I think. So I used the large, what is this? Even a regular triangle. I don't know what you call it. Like these are what isosceles triangles or something like that. I don't know. This is like a corner triangle, I guess. So anyways, I've got two of those. I wasn't really that great in math either. So I flunked out of computers. I did okay in math. I wasn't a math whiz. So now you pretty much know my whole life. Okay. And then I have a piece of Soft Succulent, and I cannot remember what this measures. It is 3 1/4 by I think 4 1/2. Yes, 4 1/2. A layer of white for the inside, a strip of DSP for the inside also, and then a Soft Succulent card base. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp a little bit of a border at the top and bottom of this here. So let me bring back my little piece of paper that I used. And I'm going to use Versamark because I tried using right angle. Thank you, Nadia. I tried using the actual Soft Succulent on the Soft Succulent paper, and I just felt like it was a little bit too dark. So that's why I'm going for the Versamark. If you ever try to do that tone-on-tone stamping, you know, the same color of ink on the same color of paper, sometimes it looks perfect and it's great. Other times the ink is a little bit too dark. So if you find that is an issue, go ahead and use Versamark because you're going to get a nice little watermark image. And so it's not going to be too bold, but it's just going to be a nice little something so that your paper isn't, you know, completely blank, I guess. So I'm just doing it right on the edge of both of them. So I'm stamping this thing, I don't know, like 4 times. Okay. Load that up with that Versamark. And then finally this little guy here. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do with that. All right, then I'm going to stamp a sentiment on a piece of white with some Evening Evergreen here. Pam says she's not a big fan of green, but she loves these shades. Yeah, I do too, and I also like Granny Apple Green a lot, Pam. Well, of course, I like Pear Pizzazz. Yeah, I guess I do like green. Okay, so I'm stamping that upside down, which for this particular case doesn't matter. Yes, I know I could put the labels on my stamps, but I'm lazy. And I don't want to take my stamping time to do that. So I don't. Okay, so since we're punching it out, it doesn't matter that it was upside down. We're just going to get that. So there is our little stamped image. I think we can take those and put those away. So I also die cut a bunch of pieces. So here I go again. So I'll have a lot of little extras. So you can see this piece here. I think I have another one in here. Well, these gold ones are like the ends of that label die. So I just actually put like a little square of gold on this end of the die, a little square of gold on that end of the die. They were actually like little scraps of gold. And then I ran it through. So I didn't need the entire middle. All I wanted was these end pieces because I find them to be pretty fun for like putting behind something. Okay. And then I have some out of Soft Succulent. I have Evening Evergreen. I actually die cut some out of one of the patterns of the Designer Series paper, which I thought was kind of fun. These are also out of the Designer Series paper, that ombre layer. And I did the same thing. I just used little squares of them and ran it through. Let's see. This is that really large die that we talked about. This one here where I told you could kind of cut it up. So that's exactly what I did here. I kind of cut that up. So I've got all these pieces, and like, again, I don't know what I'm going to do with them all, but we're going to do something. Oh, here's the other piece, I think, that I was looking for. Or maybe it was a single. I don't know. Anyways, so I've got all these pieces to choose from. So let me start kind of building up what I wanted to do. So I've got the card. I have got the triangles, and so the triangles are going to go a little bit cattywampus on that layer. Okay, so I need to add some adhesive to these, and you know what? Well, I think this will work. We're just going to kind of add some seal to each of the angles, and then I'm going to come across the whole thing also. Okay, so I said I'm going to kind of put them on there a tiny bit cattywampus, which I am. So I can see that it's just slightly off center. Let me get some more seal out on this. Okay, and now I'm going to kind of, well, I need to scoot this up just a little bit. And I find with seal, a lot of the times, if you kind of don't press it down super hard at first, like if you know you're going to maybe need to have a little bit of wiggle room, it's kind of forgiving. Okay, so I think that's going to be a little bit better if we do it like that. So I'm just kind of buttoning these triangles together, which they're kind of fun because you have this nice stitched stuff all the way around, which is really nice. Okay, then we're going to stick it on the card, and we're going to kind of angle this whole layer, but we're going to end up having these triangles kind of be straight, if that even makes any sense, which it probably does not. So let me just stick it on there, and we'll see if we can make it make sense. Ooh, that's too close to the edge. Hold on, hold on. There, okay. All right. Oh my gosh, you guys, we have 110 people watching. For me, that's a lot. Okay, so I'm kind of angling this image just a tiny bit, but then I feel like my triangles are going to be straight on there. All right, so then I'm going to add my little sentiment piece about right there. And then I need to figure out what pieces of paper I want to stick behind this thing. And so I have a lot to choose from, since I die cut a ton of pieces, because I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to want to do, because I never am. No, I don't think we need that. I kind of feel like the gold needs to be on the top. I really kind of liked this piece of Designer Series paper. I just thought it was very interesting. So I kind of like that, just like that. And so I'm going to try to, maybe I'll add some seal back here on the back of the label. And then we'll try to add the pieces. So there's my Designer Series paper. Stick that on there. And then we have this gold, which is very pretty. And then we have this piece of the Evening Evergreen. And I think that's kind of good, because I have a bow. So I've got this Evening Evergreen sheer ribbon, which is so pretty. And I really like these sheer ribbons. The Soft Succulent and the Pale Papaya, you can actually color with our blends and make them other colors. They're light enough that they will take other colors really nicely. And then here is a bow. So I already have one done, and I'm going to actually put my bow down here at the bottom. So I don't know if I need any more little foliage pieces sticking out anywhere or not. I am going to think that I probably don't. So I am just going to add this with some glue, something like that, just because this is just a little bit different kind of a layout. Like I said, I haven't used these triangles really much. I don't know why. Triangles are cool. And they're really cool when you make squares out of them because you get all that fun stitching in them. Okay, so I'm going to use my glue dots and get a bow on there. So this is a little bit different layout than I would normally do. So hopefully, hopefully you guys like it. I don't want to make stuff that you'll hate. Okay, it's definitely different. It's a little bit interesting. I find it kind of cool. And then I've got a piece of paper for the inside. So we're just going to add a little bit of glue. Whoops, I probably am not in the frame right here. A little bit of glue. Ooh, you know what? Maybe before we actually tack this down, maybe we could kind of stick, not that one, maybe this one. Maybe we could kind of stick a couple of these down underneath that. Maybe that would work. Oh, I guess I need to add a tiny bit of glue back here and back here because they aren't sticking so great. But we'll do that. Ooh. Okay. And so we've got our sending. Oops. Well, that didn't work. Let me add some real glue to this. I thought there was maybe enough. Apparently I was wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. Okay. Then we have another little sentiment here that can go on the inside also. And I can't remember what it says. And it's pretty small print. So we're going to find out here momentarily. Let's hope that it's going to be straight. Come on, please. Yes. So that's a nice little sentiment in there also. And we'll add this to the inside of the card. And then we'll be done with it. Okay. So there. A little bit different. Kind of fun using the triangles. And I hope you guys like that. So there it is. Card number 2. Let's set that up there. All right. Let me put all my little bits back in this little container. This is an old, what does this say on here? Basic Brads. So I like to keep these little containers because they're kind of handy to just store a few little things in. All right, let me put my stuff away. Where's my chamois? I need to clean these off. These have some pretty dark ink on them, and I don't want to put those back in my bin. Yeah. Okay. And we'll put the stamps away. We'll put the ribbon away. We'll put the dies and the stamps. Oh, you know what? I didn't put any gems on that card, did I? I meant to. Let's bring that back in and add some. Let's see what we can do here. I kind of find these little things a little bit weird, the shape of them. I haven't quite mastered what to do with all of them yet. So maybe we can just sort of stick one there, kind of like they're the edges of the, what do you call them? Like the foliage pieces, like the middle of the flowers, but not flowers. Because they are a nice color. Maybe we'll just throw a third one right in there. And we'll just kind of have them all right up here. I don't know. This might be a complete fail. I say that a lot. And sometimes it is. I don't know. It's not like super odd, but it does add a little bit of bling to the whole thing. A little bit of interest, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to leave it. Why not? Okay. Okay, I feel like my iPad did not, it was like stopped for a second there, so I wasn't reading any of the comments. Okay. Guys, any questions? I put labels on the, okay, good. And we've got Patricia here. Sarah said she sent me an email. Perfect. And okay, so we're going to move on to our third and final card. Whoops, I need to keep the dimensionals out here. And it's going to be using the Little Delights stamp set. And a little shameless plug, if you guys wouldn't mind giving this video a thumbs up and perhaps subscribing to my channel down here and ringing the bell. That would really be awesome. And it would really help me out a lot. And as a small business owner, I would be very thankful. Okay. So we're going to use the Little Delights stamp set, which is really cute. It's kind of got smaller images for lots of different occasions. So we've got birthdays, Christmas, you know, Thanksgiving, thank you, and Halloween, which I find super fun. And I did want to share with you guys, here's a cute little bag that I created. This is one of our little treat bags that we sell in the catalog. And fit on the ends of the labels. You know, Terry, it might. And another thing you can do with those little marquees is you can make flowers out of them, I think. You know, put the little dark green one in the middle and then put the other ones around as like petals. That was something Dina mentioned to us today. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. Anyway, here's a cute little treat bag that I made using this stamp set and one of our labels and just a little bit of ribbon. So, and I found these Hershey's Kisses at Walmart. If anybody's wondering where I found them at Walmart. They're like fall themed. And they just match these colors, cinnamon cider, just jade, and pumpkin pie, like almost perfectly. So yeah. So that was a cute little treat that I made. And if you order the Little Delights class, this is what you get. You get the 3 rolls of Flowers for Every Season ribbon and a half a roll of the Fresh Freesia. You get 5 of those little bags that I just showed you. You get 2 of our scalloped boxes. All the cut cardstock pieces to make all the projects. You get the designer series paper. You get some gems and some squares. You get all that stuff. That's the kit. And so remember, if you guys have already ordered the kit and you send me an email, I'll send you the pieces to make this card we're making now. If you order the kit between now and November 6th, I will also include that. So you can purchase the kit via the link in the description of this video. It's the Little Delights class. Okay. And so let's move on here. So I have cut myself a circle using the number 5 layering circle. And here are my pieces and parts. So I've got some strips of cardstock. I've got a card base. I've got some layers. And then we've got those strips there. What else do we have in here? We have some ink. And we have some ink refills because we're going to do the old baby wipe technique, because why not? So I think we're going to just start with that. So we've got our 3 colors of ink. I've got Blackberry Bliss, Coastal Cabana, and Calypso Coral. I have baby wipes right here because I always have baby wipes at my stamp table because I'm kind of a messy stamper and my hands get dirty. Okay, so I'm just going to fold this single baby wipe in half and then in half again. And I am going to add, let's see, a little bit of this Calypso Coral. So this is kind of going to be my middle color. Okay. And then I've got the Blackberry Bliss at one end. And I'm trying not to actually put them right next to each other because they're going to bleed right next to each other anyway. So I'm leaving a tiny bit of a gap that they're going to end up filling in just because that's the nature of, you know, ink. It spreads. Okay, so we have our little circle here. Pull it out of the bag. So here's a circle. And I am going to use this little floral image from the set. Can't find the set. Here we go. This little guy right down here is the one that I'm going to use for this. So I am just going to, let's see. So it's not quite long enough. So I need to add a tiny bit more Bermuda or Coastal Cabana up here at the top. And then a tiny bit more of the Blackberry Bliss down here at the bottom to make that long enough to fit my stamp. Okay, that is pretty good. So I can see that it's not quite from side to side. So I'm just going to like tap it into the ink and then move it sideways a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp this. Where am I stamping this? Like right here, I think. Right in the middle. Ah! Well, that was terrible. You know what? I'm actually going to bring this out a little bit because I don't want to have to try to dink around with getting it in the right spot. So we are going to extend this out a bit. And we'll do this one too. So just kind of come out like that. Okay, now we should be good. So I'm going to ink that up again. got the right, we got it this way this time, and we're going to stamp it. Is that not just cool or what? And so now I want to kind of flip the colors. So I'm going to wipe this off on my chamois down here. Get it all clean as I can get it. And so because I had the stem in the Blackberry Bliss the last time, I'm going to turn it around and have the stems be in the Coastal Cabana this time. Okay. And we're just going to add a little, I am going to go off the page. That's fine. And we're going to do that again. So we're going to ink it up again. And then I'm going to stamp it again. And I should bring in a scratch paper. Where is that? Here we go. Just because I don't want to get ink on my desk and then not, you know, not kind of like know it's there and then end up making a mess. Okay, so that's what I have so far, which I think is kind of cool. Now, it doesn't look great at this moment, but the whole card's going to look amazing. Just wait. I promise. Okay, so then I need a skinny strip of white, and I have the thank you image that's in the stamp set. And we're going to ink that up in the Blackberry. So let me just get that inky. And we'll try to center it. Yep, that's going to work. Okay, and this strip is obviously way too long, so I'm just going to kind of trim it. So it's about 1/4 of an inch past the words. And then I'm going to flag the end. And it's really, if you have nice, sharp, like new scissors. So I have like a pair of snips that I keep here on my desk that are, actually that was a terrible cut. Let me go back and fix that. Not because of the scissors, but because of me. And these are like brand new, and I use them mostly just for this type of work, just for snipping, the snipping work. Okay, I'm going to come in just a tiny bit there. Cut that. Ugh. Okay, and then I'm going to come in and snip off just a tiny bit there. Okay, so now that's going to go at the bottom. So that's going to kind of cover all that mess that we have with the stems on there. So we've got that. Okay, so we're going to put that aside, and we're going to bring in this layer of white that is 3 3/4 by 5. And then these are just 1/2 inch strips of cardstock, and they can be, I think they need to be at least like 5 inches long for, I mean, to go across the cardstock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of lay one on here, and I'm going to snip it off so that I don't, because I need to put glue on them, and I don't want to like put glue, you know, a ton of glue if I don't need a ton of glue, because then that'll just make a mess. Okay, so now we kind of know that we need glue almost to both ends of these little strips. Okay, and we're going to start about like that. And then I'm going to put glue on the back of this Calypso Coral piece. Okay, and I'm going to leave a tiny bit of white in between so that a little bit of white shows. Okay, and you could do it. You could put the whole, you know, you could butt it up exactly to it if you want to. All right, and then this last one, and again, leave a little bit. Well, that was kind of crappy. Hold on. I'm trying to make so that the spaces that I'm leaving are about the same. Okay, there we go. So we're going to kind of let that dry for a second here, and we're going to bring in another strip, a strip of white, and a bunch of strips of these colors. And so I'm going to just run a line of glue down here, and I'm going to put another one right next to it. And so I'm going to kind of vary the sizes of these little strips. And these are just like some scraps that I found. And I think I did cut, I might have cut the Blackberry ones. And again, we're just leaving a little bit of space between each color. And so I would go down and I would do this through, I would do this, you know, altering the colors back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then I would cut off all the excess bits, and then I would cut this down to like 3/4 of an inch. And so I've already got that done. Okay, so this is going to be the piece that's going to go on the inside of the card, just to add some, fun and interest and kind of copy what we had going on the front, which I think is kind of cool. Because I think what we have going on the front is going to be nifty, and adding this to the inside is going to just make it even that much better. Okay, there. So now we can come back to this one and we can snip off. And so I've changed scissors. These are not my super good. See, I have a little silver asterisk on my really good scissors. My kind of good scissors have like a gold blob on them. So they're okay for cutting paper, but I would not cut ribbon with them because they're not that sharp. Okay. So then that's going to go on to our layer of Coastal Cabana. So this white layer was 3 3/4 by 5. So our layer of Coastal Cabana is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So it's just a tiny bit of a border going around the whole thing. Okay. Oh, look at that. It's a scrap. I do that all the time. All right. And then we can snip off the ends of this. There we go. And that's going to go on the inside. So then our little layer here is going to go on the front, and we're going to use dimensionals for that. And I'm going to put a couple of dimensional, well, probably 3. Get those off. All right. Sherry says she caught me live. Yay! All right, we're going to add that. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on here where I'm going to put my sentiment piece. So I'm trying to make that kind of centered from top to bottom, side to side, whatever. Okay, that's good. Then we need a bow. So I have got this pool party, this really sheer fun pool party ribbon, and I would tie a bow with this. Of course, I think I already have one done somewhere around here. I think I did one earlier. Tie that into a bow. Let me look. Huh. I thought that I had one. Oh no. Oh, I do. It was hiding. Okay, so I've got a bow. I need a glue dot. Here we go. So we'll add a glue dot to that. And I'm going to set that right down there at the bottom. Kind of pull it down just a little bit. And then I found these fun little playing with patterns resin dots. And so these come in Coastal Cabana. These could kind of be fresh freesia. And then I think those are crushed curry. So I thought maybe we might be able to have a tiny bit of fun with these things. I don't know. I might hate this. I don't know. I might think that I need to have bling instead of, something like this. We'll see. And do we want a ginormous one down here? Or is that like too big? That might be too big. We might go with actually a smaller one. Maybe just right here. Okay, so then that's going to go on our layer of Blackberry Bliss, and I'm going to do that with dimensionals also. So I hope you guys are enjoying this color combination. It's definitely not one that I have ever used before. I was going through some swap cards today from a while ago, and I saw a card that had these colors on it, and I thought, oh my gosh, that is a really cool color combination. Okay, and then this is going to go on the inside, but I do want to stamp. So that says thank you on the front, and then on the inside, it's going to say you're such a blessing. Couldn't remember. Okay, so we're going to stamp that. Oh, geez, Louise, what did we do? I can't get that off. Let me think. Could I? I could if I had another strip. Hold, please. I'm going to get another strip here. Yep, I'm going to put that on there. Because that's just going to ruin the whole thing. And I saw that too. I saw that big blob of ink at the top of that block, and I just should have stopped myself. She said, Barb, stop. You're going to make a mess. I didn't, and then, of course, I made a mess. All right, so we're just going to add another piece at the top because that's what we just got to do. And that's going to cover up our stupid mistake. Although I guess it wasn't a mistake. It was an opportunity to do something different. So I took the opportunity and I did something different. Okay. So now we're going to add this to the inside of the card. Throw some glue on it. And then I have another card to show you guys that uses the same stamp set, this exact same layout, but some different stamps in there, and of course some different colors. Okay, so there is that one with that color combination. Let's move some of these things out of the view of the camera so that it's not so messy and yucky looking. Okay. So here we have that. Oh, I didn't burnish that with my bone folder, and I can totally tell because it's not closing very nicely. There we go. Look what I did. I made a birthday card. So I did the same thing. I used the same layout, but I used Bermuda Bay, Daffodil Delight, and Real Red. I used red rhinestones. I used the same ribbon. And I did the party hats. And it's really funny because between the yellow, the Daffodil Delight, and the Bermuda Bay, when they bled together, they made green. And when the Daffodil Delight bled with the red, it made orange. So I have like this really fun birthday card. So this is the same stamp set, obviously, just different stamps, different colors. So I hope you guys like that. And remember, if you order that Little Delights kit, you'll get the supplies to make this card as well as everything else I already showed you that does come in that kit. So let me bring in our other cards for this evening. Okay, so we have the one with the artistically inked, which is really pretty. And then we have our Sending Hugs from the Eden's Garden. Turned out pretty good. And then we have our fun baby wipe technique with just some fun different color combinations. So I'm kind of excited. I mean, who knows? I've got the whole evening. My husband's at work and my son's at work, so I don't have anybody here that I have to take care of right now. So that's kind of nice. So who knows? I might play and make some more. You never can tell. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for subscribing and thumbs upping the video. That helps me out tremendously. If you want to purchase any of my classes, the links are in the description of this video. And if you want to purchase any Stampin' Up! Product from me, I have the link to my online store in there also. That also helps me continue to bring, to buy new stamps and to have more products that I can share with you guys to show you how to do some fun stamping. And I always have some tips to share because I make a lot of mistakes. And so I'm happy to share how I fix a lot of my mistakes with you guys. So again, thank you guys so much and have a fabulous week. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.